Hey guys, it's Lego with Lego Vids. I'm back again with another gameplay video. Today we're going to be going through the Wizard, and so this is during the Diablo 3 beta, patch 13, so you get the chance to check out some of the new rune abilities and some of the new abilities that classes have actually had enabled for them overall. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting out with a Wizard, he did receive a little bit of a buff to his magic missile, I believe. Actually, let me set some settings here real quick. Usually do these before the video, but we'll go ahead and get them set real quick. Right now there's a bug, so I lose all my settings each time we reload the game. Alright, there we go. Wanted to turn on advanced tooltips so you can actually see the percent damage that these things do. This is 110% weapon damage. So pretty basic skill. I mean, not too exciting, but hey, it's the very first ability you get. The wizard's resource is actually arcane power. He has 100 of it to start, and I think you can get some items and things like that that'll increase that as you level up. So, but to start out, you use arcane power. Some of your abilities are going to be for free, and they were called signature abilities. I'm not sure if they're still going to call them that. Yeah, it does say signature here. And these are free to cast, and so they don't cost any arcane power. And then you also have some abilities that actually use the arcane power. And so the abilities that use arcane power tend to be pretty strong, and the and the abilities that are signature abilities and are free are they're not usually they're not bad by any means, but they're not as strong or as powerful as your arcane abilities, which is good. You know, it gives a good balance. One thing that I do like about the wizard is that I feel like I never run out of mana or arcane power in this case, because it regens really fast. Now you can certainly run out of arcane power, but it regens so fast that it doesn't feel bad usually. So I do like that. Picked up a new skill. It's going to be Arcane Orb. It costs 35 arcane power, 250% weapon damage, and a 10-yard explosion radius. So pretty strong ability. So let's go ahead and check this out. And so as you can see, it's considerably stronger than my signature ability. You know, 110% weapon damage versus 250% with AoE. And so it is a strong ability for sure.
What can I do? Thanks.
The downside being I only have 100 arcane power, so I can't really spam it to death. But at this low of a level, I mean, it really doesn't matter because things die within a few hits, and as you can see, arcane power regenerates really fast.
Traveling and writing about the strange creatures in our world. But the sight of the
I've already done a playthrough of the wizard during this patch, so I'm actually doing this again just for you guys. And the wizard, at least to me right now, feels very overpowered in these early stages of the game. Now, I don't know if that levels out later on, but if you've watched some of my other gameplay videos, you'll see that, I mean, things are just falling over, and I'm only using the default weapon right now, and so it just feels very powerful, and it only gets exaggerated as he gets the rune for Arcane Orb, and you'll be able to see that later on.
Long ago, rose from their graves and began to attack the living. However, the risen dead were only the beginning.
Oh no, I'm trapped in this void. As I've mentioned before in some previous videos, you can use any weapon you want, as long as it's actually something that your class is allowed to equip, and it will increase your damage because your damage is based on the DPS of the weapon that you're using. So like right now my wand is 3 DPS and this axe is 4.7, so it would be an increase to equip this axe. And so that's something I'm going to go ahead and do. And even this new wand that I picked up, it's not better than the axe. So go ahead and move my potions down here. It's usually where I keep them. So yeah, as you can see, I mean, that's just completely different than what it's been like on some of my other videos, where I actually had to hit the guys at least more than once, you know, where here one spell goes in and everything just falls over. And so it'll be interesting to see if Blizzard does any kind of tuning or balancing there. I mean, I would think that they really need to, otherwise it's just going to be overpowered, or maybe it's only overpowered at this low level and then later on it won't be. But with everything being based on percentage weapon damage, I don't know. I guess we'll get to a point where we can't just one-shot things, and then we'll really start to feel like the bottom of our arcane or our arcane power globe, you know, whereas right now we don't really ever feel the bottom of it because everything just dies. Let's check out this new ability. It's called Shock Pulse. It's actually going to be a signature ability, which means it's free to cast. Releases a medium range pulse of 3 unpredictable charges of electricity that deal 105% weapon damage as lightning. Now, when I've played through on a wizard before, I've never really cared for Shock Pulse because of the unpredictable charges kind of thing. Like, I don't like spells that are unpredictable and just kind of wander on their own, but I will use it so you guys can see what it looks like.
The rumors of torture and worse grow every day. What has happened to Tristram and its king? I once thought Leoric a great man, but it seems I was deceived. We all were. He sends our meager army against Westmarch on the morrow. What will become of us?
So here's Shock Pulse if I'm not actually hitting anything. So there's actually 3 charges, if you can see that. And they don't go out too far. I mean, it's not just because I'm only aiming out that far. They just don't reach that far. And so, I mean, like, if I get right on top of the guy, I guess I can hit him, but I can't stand back as far as I was with Magic Missile. And in all reality, I mean, at this point in the game, I really don't even need this, because I can just kill everything with Arcane Orb and in one hit and then just be done with it. And so it's, I don't know. Check out this new axe. DPS decreased by a little bit, so stick with what I have. Yeah, I don't care for the short range. I don't know if maybe you get to rune it later on that gives it more range or what, but the short range, I don't really care for that. I kind of feel like they should like double the range, so I at least feel like I can shoot all the way across the screen, because here it's like cutting off. It's just like I can't hit this guy, he's too far away from me, and that just, it feels bad. Alright, that's enough of Shock Pulse. I'm going to swap back to Magic Missile for now.
Thank you for your help. No, shoot. Come.
Will you?
I promised Marco I'd protect him, but now he's...
By the way, I plan on skipping all the lore as we go through, or at least like the quest dialogue and the videos and that kind of thing. If you're interested in seeing a playthrough with those, you can check out my Witch Doctor playthrough. All of the lore is seen on that particular playthrough, so.
Look, a hidden cellar.
I think there was more to your mother than you know.
People said she was a witch, but I never believed it.
Need more arcane power.
Yeah, see, this mob actually has more life, so now I actually have to use a signature spell. I can't just spam arcane power until everything dies. So I mean, that's a little bit better, and you actually have to feel the bottom of the arcane power globe, and so I'm sure it'll feel different once I can't just one or two shot guys, which I have to imagine is going to be pretty soon into the game. I mean, you don't ever really feel that in the beta, because as you level up in the beta, you just get more and more overpowered, because you're stuck in just like a certain level range, and you can level up to 13, but the mobs around you can't. They don't get up to your level once you're at level 13, and so you're just completely overpowered and can just dominate everything. But once you're actually playing through the game, I'm sure it'll kind of level out at some point, and maybe mobs won't just immediately fall over. That, and I suppose as the mobs grow more dense, where there's not so much running, so you just have this time to regen your orb all the way back up. You know, it might start to feel more then too. The only real downside that I have to Arcane Orb is that it's slow. In PvE, it doesn't really matter that much, but I can see it mattering in PvE, or PvP, sorry, because players might be able to dodge it, and so you'd have to make sure that when you use it, that it hits, because it is 35 arcane power, so having the hit miss would suck. This is a wizard only item. It's an offhand that they carry around. They all have plus damage on them now, so it tends to be pretty good to make sure that you're always using some kind of offhand item. I believe they call them sources, but that's what that is. New ability for leveling up, we got Frost Nova. I do like this ability. It doesn't do any damage, but it does freeze everything around you for 3 seconds. So 12-second cooldown.
This must be where the star fell. Its crater is tinged with some strange magic.
Some foul new disease has taken hold in this land, and the carrion bats are near the heart of it. Since
My name is Lockdown, and I'm cursed.
That's one thing that I don't know that I care for. Like, it was playing that one lore, and I picked up that book, and so I just automatically started playing that one instead. I wish they would just like kind of queue up behind each other and play this one after the other one was done, rather than interrupting. Because the very first time I played through the game, I like to hear those, because I mean, they're kind of cool. They add like an RP element to it, and I do like it. It adds a little bit depth to the game. You know, it's not just running around slaying monsters all day. And so if I'm in like a new area and I'm listening to the lore for some new creature, and I pick up a book or something and it interrupts that lore, I'll be upset, because I mean, now I have to go and look through and find that lore and play it on my own. Which, by the way, there's a way to play these lores. Have to figure out what button it is. Yeah, it's the quest log. You hit L, it opens up your quest log, and so you can go back through and play any lore that you've heard before. So if I was listening to one that I wanted to, I could just go and hit it again.
I will never forget the first time I
So I mean, they do give you a
horrors
method to listen to it again. It's not like it's gone forever, or I have to level a new character or something like that. But you know, I do think it would be a little bit more friendly if it would just queue up behind the one that's currently playing.
The grotesques may seem slow and senseless, but they hide many dangers within their hideously malformed bodies. A set of spikes lurks beneath the monster's flesh, and foul parasites nest within them. It is said
I suppose I
that
should
these horrors
actually show you Frost
themselves
Nova.
are constructed by a greater evil, a darkness
Doesn't look
that
like it has any
I
cost,
cannot even
so
fathom.
I can use it even if I'm out of arcane power. Look at these guys around. It just freezes them solid. I think if you kill them, they actually shatter. If you kill them when they're frozen. I'll show you that in a minute. Here you go. Oh, he didn't shatter. Maybe it's only a chance to shatter. I'm not sure, like, some of these guys have like this purple aura. I don't know if it's because I'm killing them with arcane orb, which is an arcane magic, and it's supposed to be like left behind magic on them or what, but yeah, I always found that strange that they have like this purple on them. I don't not like it, like I think it's kind of cool, but it's just different. They have this purple that's kind of strewn about them, like they have arcane power left all over them. Level 4, huh? I kind of wonder if this playthrough will be any faster than my previous videos because of how much quicker I feel like the wizard can kill things right now. I'm sure it'll end up balancing out from stopping to show other things and whatnot, so we'll see. Apparently you can even freeze bosses with Frost Nova. I don't know if he froze for the full duration, but you can freeze him.
Need more arcane power. You live.
We must discuss the fallen star.
Uncle.
And check the vendor, see if he's got any good weapons or anything I want to use. Sell off these whites I don't need. Keeping these blue items because I can salvage them and make them into crafting materials. In this game there's actually crafting, and so it's to your advantage to hold on to them. I'm gonna grab this. That's a pretty good upgrade. It's got a really fast cast speed on it too. That's one thing to keep in mind, I guess, is where I normally really like to be able to cast fast, and I favor casting fast on most classes. On the wizard, I'm not sure I really care either way. Here's where you can do your crafting and stuff. Normally there's a blacksmith here, but he's the next part of my quest.
Horrors have visited Tristram before, and it endured.
But what of the text? The soccer room tone, warn of a falling.
Yes, yes. Don't touch anything unless you're buying.
There's a
it.
wand.
I like to keep my inventory
Actually has
clean.
3 properties on it, which isn't bad, but still not as much DPS as the
Spent all night alongside the blacksmith's wife.
dagger that I'm using.
Did you hear? Old Rumford has us down to half rate.
Blacksmith.
Not enough. Thank you. Follow me. Sure, I may do business with some unsavory type.
Just checking the vendors to see if they have a weapon upgrade for me. It's something I've done in my previous videos is I've checked out the vendors, and I've kind of stuck strictly to only gear that I find or gear that I happen to find on a vendor. So instead of crafting it all, so
My friends, I'm sorry.
You are helping. You don't need to be sorry.
if any of you guys are curious on how crafting actually works, go ahead and leave a comment. Maybe I'll make a video and show off crafting and how that can actually benefit you in this game, how the whole process works.
Hedrick, help me.
So yeah, you only get about 3 arcane orb shots, and then you gotta switch back to like a signature ability because you run out of arcane power.
I couldn't have... Well, and if you see my fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
There's a big pack coming this time. Stand your ground.
Scavengers are ugly, pathetic creatures who survive off of carrion and corpses, too diseased to attract any other carnivores. I did once meet a raggedy fellow who claimed that he had trained one of the beasts to bring him large rats to eat. But I'm sure the story is utter nonsense.
That thick glass star is actually a headpiece for a monk, so I can't use it. Figured I'd go ahead and explain that. I know when I first saw them in the game, I was like, what in the world is a thick glass star? I thought it would be like a mace or something, but it ended up being a headpiece for a monk, so. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, normally I really favor attacking fast for most classes. Like monks I like to attack fast, demon hunters I like to attack fast, barbarians I like to attack fast, and so, but when it comes to the casters, like a wizard or a witch doctor, I really don't care what my cast speed is, because I can only cast off so many spells anyway, or at least the good spells, the ones that cost resources. I can only cast off so many anyway, and so it doesn't really matter to me as far as how fast I'm attacking. And in some cases, I think later on in the game, depending on how the offhands work out to balance damage, I may actually experiment with using a two-handed weapon, because typically they can have higher DPS than just a one-handed weapon. And so yeah, they can be really slow, but I can only fire off so many spells anyway, so if they hit hard, I'm not really that concerned about it, because I don't really generate resources like the other classes.
Need more arcane power.
Ah, he teleported past. That'd be fun to do in PvP as a wizard. Teleport past somebody else's spells, piss them off. 7.7, still not good enough to replace.
I need arcane power.
Picked up a hat that's for wizards only. Here we go. This isn't actually going to be an increase, but I'll show it to you anyway. So like I can actually equip this weapon. It says 10.5 DPS. I say it's not going to be an increase because I'm going to have to take off this offhand, which has 1 to 3 damage on it, which is actually making this pair be better. But so I'm at 15.94 now. So if I throw this up, it's 13.13 or 13.13, and so it doesn't really matter as far as like my cast speed, even though it's really slow. It just, because I can only fire off so many anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm still only gonna get 3 and then have to wait, so that's what I mean by probably giving two-handers a chance later on. Level 6.
Could see me now.
No ability learned this time, but I do get a new skill. Looks like it's called Charged Blast for magic missile. Increases the damage of magic missile to 143 as arcane. So here's what magic missile looks like now, just an arcane looking blast. So with this effect on it, have to wait for the cooldown here.
Need more time.
Demons have been known to devour their own young when no other nourishment is available. Their offspring, the imps,
Here's what the new effect looks like.
manage to flee and band
Kind of
together
like
with
a
other
bigger,
demon spawn.
flashier
They
effect to it.
rove in
So,
vicious packs,
no real mechanic
ready to
changes on this
descend
particular
upon the
rune,
unwary
just
traveler
more
and
damage.
rip his body to shreds with their tiny
And that's going to be the case with
needle-sharp teeth.
just about every ability. I think every ability has one rune that pretty much just leaves the ability the same as what it already is, but just increases damage. And so, at least for your damage dealing abilities. So if you like the default behavior of the ability, then you can use the rune that just increases damage. So you don't feel like you're missing out. This is a one of the random spawn events. This actually happened in my previous video for the Demon Hunter. I think it was the Demon Hunter.
I need arcane power. Need more arcane power. I don't have enough arcane power.
Yeah, the limited amount of times that you can fire off spells has to be why they let the spells that actually use arcane power deal so much damage. I mean, I can only fire off Arcane Orb 3 times and then I have to wait. And so, I mean, I can see that being why you are allowed to have such a powerful spell. I mean, even though early in the game, it's overpowered at this level. You know, once I'm starting to fight like big mobs of enemies like this, I actually have to start to be more tactical. I can't just fire in one spell and be like, okay, I'm done. You know, I have to actually use my signature spells as well. Oh, check it out, a wand that's actually an increase. 16.34 to 18.83, not bad. And some extra armor on my gloves.
This isn't the right crypt. The crown must
These
be
little
in
stones
the
here
other
actually will teleport you back out to the beginning of the dungeon. Really useful because it keeps you from just having to run back through the dungeon, which is a big waste of time. And so, something cool that Blizzard added to the game to get you back into the action quicker, which I really appreciate. I feel like I find a lot of these protection shrines, which I found more experience with, at least leveling up. You know, later on in the game, I'm sure I'll be wishing I found more magic find ones. So yeah, as you can see, Arcane Orb is quickly becoming overpowered, and it's going to get even worse when I get the rune for it. I wonder if I'll get that during this playthrough. Let's see when the rune for Arcane Orb is. Yeah, level 7, so you'll be able to see that soon. Man, next level actually. we go. So here's what Arcane Orb looks like now. Kind of like throwing a galaxy at somebody, I guess. Let's check out the Ruined effect. Ruined effect is Arcane Nova. Modifies it. It still does 250% weapon damage, but the explosion radius is doubled, so it's 20 yards instead of 10, which is just ridiculous. So I'll show you guys in a second.
This is the wrong crypt. The
Looks like this is the wrong place. Teleport out. Here's what the orb looks like now. It's kind of like a dark blue color. But yeah, did you see that explosion radius? Watch this off of this building here. Get a little bit closer so you get an idea. It's just, the radius is huge, and you'll be able to see it even more when I actually hit mobs with it. It's just completely ridiculous. So this rune effect is why I think that Arcane Orb is so overpowered, because it can just wipe out pretty much like an entire room. Look at this, I hit here and it still blew up stuff behind me. It's just ridiculous. So we'll see when I actually fight a big group of guys. You see that? Like, I hit the guy that was standing right here and still blew up the guys over here on this platform. It's just, it's just got this insane reach, explosion radius now.
The tragedies in these lands have left many restless spirits in their wake, and they demand retribution. These spirits will take out their vengeance on any unsuspecting individual who may pass, for they believe that the blood of the living will yet restore the lives that were ripped away from them.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to find any weapon offhand combination that's better than what I'm using right now. I did luck out and get a pretty good offhand and a pretty good weapon. These plus damage stats at this low level are actually really strong. So having that on offhand that's a 1 to 3 is actually pretty good. Meaning 1 to 3 plus damage here. The health globe thing I couldn't care less about, but the damage is good.
This looks like a crypt fit for a chancellor. The crown must be here.
The unburied are formed from human corpses that were flung into mass graves without a
I
proper
wish there was a way to
burial.
make these lore things when I kill like a new mob or whatever to just automatically play, so I don't have to click that
decomposes
button.
into one being, bound by some foul magic. For all my knowledge, I could only flee from it, and I would expect any other sensible person to do the same.
No, I will not allow you to bring that monster Leoric back to this world.
Yeah, I guess this is another downfall of Arcane Orb is like this guy moves pretty fast and he kind of moves erratically, and so sometimes it's hard to hit him with it if he's far away from me and he's kind of wandering around. Critical hits grant 1 arcane power. Wonder how well that kind of stat will be later on in the game. I mean, right now it's not going to do much for me, and the damage is actually less, so I'm not too worried about it, but later on it could be a pretty good stat if you're fighting like huge groups of guys.
It's good to work again. There. New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head.
Go ahead and
I need something more
salvage this stuff here.
to occupy my mind. I want my life to mean something.
Then help me. I will use your handiwork for great things. I have the craft. This.
I've got some. I worked my hands to the bone to bring you these fine goods.
10.5, not bad. Still not the 11 that I have on my wand, but not bad.
Power.
Yep, definitely taking the extra experience there. And the monster damage on hit at this low level is actually kind of good. I don't know if it'll stay that way, but at this low level they don't have very much health to begin with, so doing damage to them when they hit you will pretty much kill themselves. Like, watch this. If he'll actually hit me. There we go. See, one hit, he nearly killed himself. So. 4% magic find, I'll take that over the gold.
It was Lazarus. Of that I am certain. He alone had the king's ear and whispered dark magics into it, instilling the notion of an imminent attack by Westmire. Afraid to speak against the Archbishop, the councillors nodded their empty heads in agreement and sent us off to die.
Yeah, see, again, just 1 to 2 damage. Still not better than the 1 to 3 that I already have equipped.
When we returned from our horrific defeat in Westmarch, my beloved king lost all pretense of sanity. He seethed with rage, spitting curses upon us as traitors. With great sorrow, I ran him through. I will forever live in anguish for my last attempt to honor my king. As we laid him to rest in his burial chamber, he manifested as a hideous skeleton being.
That's funny.
Knights were overcome at once, but I fought on.
Oh, treasure goblin. Love these guys. There's another one that's really fast, so it'll be hard to hit with this arcane orb. Although I guess I can hit him with the explosion radius.
Some devious little goblins have been robbing our merchants. When pursued, they simply open portals and disappear with the most aggravating chuckle. The peasantry seem to believe that the goblins
still
serve a
not
great
good enough.
demon lord known as Greed. And furthermore, that their portals lead to Greed's domain. A ludicrous notion, truly.
Level 8. Got an ability called Diamond Skin. And it looks like I got a rune ability called Explosive Bolts. So let's go ahead and take a look at both of these. So we'll go ahead and swap Frost Nova out and pick up Diamond Skin. This is actually a new ability that we have access to with patch 13 when they reorganized how you get the abilities. Transfer your skin into diamonds for 3 seconds. Into diamond, rather. Absorb 48 damage. So, doesn't seem like it's all that much damage right now, but I'll show you what it looks like. I do think it looks really cool. And Shock Pulse got its rune, which is Explosive Bolts. Slain enemies explode, dealing 70% weapon damage as lightning to every enemy within 10 yards. Could be cool. Can't say I've really played with this ability too much. So let's check it out. Oh, here's Diamond Skin, by the way. So I do like the way it makes you look. It doesn't last very long, but it does look kind of cool. Maybe the duration will be longer later on. Oh wow, that's cool. I like that. So I think it's probably still short range. Yeah, it's still the short range that Shock Pulse had before. Doesn't really look much different, but that explosion thing is pretty cool.
Maintain your incantation. You will
See this random bit? This is what drives me crazy. Like, I'm right on top of this guy, and every now and then it would still go through him. Or, like, go around him just because of the randomness of it all. But if you were getting surrounded by guys and you just needed to blast them to death, and you were out of arcane power or whatever, that Shock Pulse might not be too bad. With this rune, anyway.
Tell me, what brought you to this infernal place?
I have unfinished business with the Skeleton King.
As do I.
Aha, extra magic bond. yeah, give you guys a chance to see this a little bit more. I do like the graphic of it, and I think it probably has its own purpose. But for now,
That's what I'm here to find out.
for me, I think Magic Missile is still more along the lines of my playstyle. I don't like to have to get all the way up close to somebody to actually be able to hit them, so...
I am Cormac, warrior of the Templar Order. If it is the Skeleton King you seek, then you will have to fight your way past John Dar. There is no reason
I suppose not. A strong spirit my side could prove helpful.
Yeah, it's just the frustration with the random bit that, I don't know, maybe it'll fire out more bolts once you level up or something, but just the fact that I can have something practically in front of me and can't hit it, that's frustrating. Swap that back out for this boss here. The Magic Missile with Charge Blast, which again just increases the damage. And I'll leave Diamond Skinned in for now. Actually like Frost Nova better than Diamond Skin, but we'll see.
Need more time.
See here again, you get to see the weakness of Arcane Orb. Since he's moving and Arcane Orb is slow, I kind of have to get close to him anyway to be able to hit him with it, or reliably hit him.
Please forgive me. My vision was big.
Thank you for your aid.
Oh well, another weapon upgrade. The wizard has been crazy lucky, yeah? Compared to my other characters, I know my barbarian was awfully unlucky. Ah, dang it. I canceled that guy. I have to go get him so he's fair comparison with my other videos. All my other videos, I kept the Templar with me, so I'm going to head back to town to go ahead and get him. Yeah, I was mashing the spacebar there, which is how you cancel the lore and cancel him talking and that kind of thing. So when he asked if I wanted him to come with me, I told him no on accident.
By all that is holy, do you see that enemy over there? What a monster!
They can still freeze me with Diamond Skin up. Alright, I'm going to swap Diamond Skin back out. I'm actually going to pick up Frost Nova. I just think it's a little bit more useful, at least at this point. I feel like it doesn't really absorb that much damage, but it's not really the damage as much as it just doesn't last very long at all. And so, I don't know, I just don't care for it all that much right now. Maybe if the duration was a little bit longer, so I felt like I would actually reliably be able to take advantage of the damage it can absorb. But I feel like it only lasts for like a couple seconds. So, jeez, look at that whole thing with one orb. Yeah, now you can see why I think Arcane Orb at this low level is, especially Ruined, is a little bit overpowered. Only to take out that entire pack with relatively no effort at all. Oh jeez, it even blasted over this wall here and hit these guys, even though the actual impact was like more like right here. It blasted all the way around. Oh, sweet. You guys remember watching me do this on my Barbarian, if you saw that video? If you didn't, then you can jump over to my barbarian video. I have the actual time that I did this link there, so you can jump straight to it. This is going to be way easier, I think, on the wizard here. It's going to be ridiculous how much easier this is. It's because of this arcane orb. There's even a rare there. I think it was a yellow colored guy. Yeah. I had to run out like 2 or 3 times on my barbarian there because of he couldn't AoE like anything near what he just saw the wizard do. I'm sure that all balances out later on in the game, but at least this early, that and my barbarian was terribly unlucky with drops, and so his gear was absolutely awful, where the wizard actually has been pretty lucky. That radius, man. I like it because it's overpowered. I mean, like, how could you not like it, right? Everybody likes being overpowered, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Blizzard does. I think originally I thought the rune was actually supposed to lower the damage but increase the radius. But right now it doesn't. It doesn't affect the damage at all. It's just a straight up radius increase. You know, and I kind of wonder if that cuts back on, I guess, the dynamic choice of a rune. I mean, because right now there's really no choice. And do you want your arcane orb to explode bigger and do the same damage, or not? You know, it's like, of course. I mean, why wouldn't I take that? There's absolutely no downside to it at all. Whereas, if they drop the damage to like 200% instead of 250, but increase the explosion radius, you know, be like, yeah, maybe I would use the larger explosion radius when I'm just running around like this, but for bosses, maybe I would use the smaller one for the extra damage or something, you know, and so there's more choice there, whereas now it's just kind of like, well, why wouldn't I use it? Of course. You know, same thing with Magic Missile. It's like, of course I'm going to use it. It's the same thing. It just does more damage. How could I not want more damage? So, I think it just makes the choice a little bit less compelling when there's no trade. You know, there's no difference. And some of the skills do have runes that do a trade-off. The Monk is one of those, where he has his Fist of Thunder ability, and when he gets his rune, he loses the knockback that his third hit on Fist of Thunder does, but instead the third hit does like this chain lightning effect instead. So the question is, do you want like this cone effect knockback in front of you, or would you rather have like this chain lightning effect? And so it's compelling. It actually causes you to make a choice. What one do you want? You know, it's not just a straight up, it does more damage. So I'll trade the monster hit out for extra experience.
And now I wander, cursed by my once beloved king. Evil gnaws at my bones, and I cannot risk putting my beloved Tristram in danger should I fail to contain that which tears at me. I must venture down into the labyrinth to die alone.
think I can shoot over the edge. Maybe with this broken down? Yeah, I can if it breaks down, that's cool.
Defenses are nothing.
Yeah, you didn't see that one drop a book because I've already picked up all the books for this particular lore section. And so, you might have noticed I picked up like books 1 through 5 or something like that as I was going through. And so, that's all of them. So when I clicked that, it just didn't drop anything. I think it should at least throw out like a little bit of gold or something. It's weird to have something just give you nothing. So.
Arcane power.
That's cool. Hitting them enticed them to come chase after me. I might actually hit level 9 before this video is over. I don't think I've done that on any other characters. At least the last couple ones anyway. I've taken a few more little side tracks, killed a few more groups of mobs on this character, so it's probably why. But even still, the video length isn't that much different because at this level the wizard just kills so fast with that arcane orb. I think part of it has to do with the fact that I've really lucked out and found some really good weapons too, so. Which is affecting my damage obviously, so some of my other characters weren't as lucky. Fortune Shrine. Nice. Try and kill the boss before this runs out. That'd be cool. Yep. Level 9. Let's see. I got Spectral Blade and Wave of Force. Oh, I got a new ability here. Wave of Force, or a new skill slot. Discharge a pure wave of energy that repels projectiles and knocks back nearby enemies. Also slows movement by 60% and deals 220% weapon damage as physical. So 25 arcane power, 15-second cooldown. Let's see what the other ability was. Spectral Blade. Summons a spectral blade that strikes all enemies in your path for 105% weapon damage. Since this video is almost over, I'm not really going to show these off too much. I'll go ahead and throw up Wave of Force, and I'll use it sometime during the boss fight, but I'll be doing a video probably later to show off all the abilities that you'll have available by level 13 according to the beta. So I only have like 26 seconds to kill this guy if I want to take advantage of my shrine. I don't know if that's going to happen. Actually, I don't need Frost Nova, so I can trade that out for Spectral Blade, for now anyway. That knockback, I think, actually interrupted his cast. Here's Spectral Blade. I think it actually hits 3 times for every time that you use it. So even though it says like 105, I think it may actually hit harder than that. Yeah, I lost my other thing. Do I actually have a life steal? Oh, I bet my reverse thing is here. Yeah, I don't have any life steal, so it must be my mercenary healer. Like, how am I getting healed? I'm not using any potions. Check out these new boots we just found. See if they're any good. 6% magic find with movement speed. That's 2 wins right there. Movement speed is good, magic find's good. Melee attackers, as I said, can be okay. So, but that's it, guys. That is the playthrough for the wizard. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or if you want to see anything else in the beta, just leave a comment, let me know. And other than that, thanks for watching, and until next time.